different conversation. Now, I don't want to say you have to be dick down to become a goddess, but I'm saying it plays a significant role too. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to dick her down. I'm just saying 18 years of that dick appropriation, and it'd be a matter of time before you come into your being. Every man can't do it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Brother Polite is such a liar. I mean, he's been lying so much that he actually believes his own BS. I mean, his head was so full of the garbage that he's been putting out. He had the audacity, the mitigated gall, to go to his Instagram and do a video before he actually got locked up, saying that they dropped all the charges. He had a party, as you can see here, saying that the charges was dropped and he was partying. But this is the question that I'm asking. The charges that was levied against him, look at all the women and people that were still following him. He was holding a mirror up to the community the whole time. He was holding a mirror up to you in front of your face. Look at the people celebrating this man, and they coming through with signs, charges dropped, and all this kind of stuff. And the people knew, even the people holding up the signs, they knew. This is the mentality of our people. So let's check out what he had to say as far as the charges being dropped, and then we'll look at again the sentence that he got, and then I'll come right back.
Blessings in abundance. The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge. I'm saying it again. The mother, the daughter, my accusers, in addition to the state, the prosecution, all agreed they need to drop all of the sexual charges. So yeah, it's a victory, but it's bittersweet. It's a victory because I was facing life. No parole, no probation. Now you may say, how could this be possible if a minor was so-called molested and it was DNA evidence? And people say DNA don't lie. And I always said, people do. Well, let's do this. The serologist, the expert that so-called found 6 semen stains amongst a headscarf and a t-shirt. Never mind the fact the whole rape kit said negative, negative, negative. They checked this girl for 5 different types of DNA, finger DNA, all types of different DNA. Checked her vagina, checked her mouth, checked her saliva, checked her excrement, checked her feces, checked her urine. Everything came up negative. You would think, because of all the violent acts I was accused of, how I came inside of her, how I came on her face, how I bust her mouth open from penetrating her so physically, that there would be some kind of trace of something, some kind of DNA. But the rape kit came up all negative. So now we're in a conundrum. So how the hell how does the DNA just skip to a t-shirt and a headscarf? Well, the serologist that did the report that labeled it semen stains, when you got high-powered attorneys such as myself, then what happens is, when you spend damn near 200 grand on your defense, you have the right to do depositions. We have our own private investigator. We have our own, guess what, forensics expert. So our forensics expert said this. Our forensics expert said, we want to take a look and see what's going on over there. So when our forensics expert took a look and examined these so-called clothes with semen stains, we had some questions about how did you definitively conclude that that was semen in the first damn place. So guess what happens after that? A deposition is when we interview anybody that's part of the situation, whether it be the mother, the daughter, the people who took the 911 call, whoever. The prosecutor gets to sit in while we interview them, while there's a court-appointed stenographer that types up everything, and the prosecutor can hear everything as it goes so they can make a determining factor if they got a case or not. Point in case, we couldn't interview the serologist, Stephanie Thompson, because she mysteriously disappears when we want to question her about how she came up with those results.
Now, again, he goes in and he lies about the serologist, and I'm gonna speak to that in a minute. And he talks about the charges being dropped, and basically what he's trying to say is he was framed, and you know, and things of this manner. But let's go back into the courtroom again. Let's look at what he was sentenced to real quick, and I'll come back and give my final commentary. You guys will want to hear this part.
Go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant will.
What'd you say, 10 years probation?
10 years reporting probation. The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, is the defendant's counsel going to be providing probation with the proof of the $5,000 being paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program.
Okay, so let me say this. Polite was a evil genius. He was very, very smart. He was an idiot savant. He had a photographic memory, but he also peeped the weakness in the game, and he knew how to cater to our lower desires. So he prompted and promoted images of women, scantily clad women, to you sexually starved men, so that way you can want to be like him and emulate him. He promoted the cars, and you can be a part of what he's doing. But what he did with the women was he promoted an image of looking important, being respected by his peers, being respected by the stars. And women are attracted to power. Power gets them moist in their panties when they see a man with power, a confident man. So he posted in his fragility the illusion of confidence, the illusion of being respected, not neglected, but selected. That's what he made it, positioned himself to get the trust of that woman to be able to grape that young girl, because she was more enamored with the image of Polite. She was more enamored with the position of Polite. Polite had a video of talking about the right dick appropriation. A turn woman can. Matter of fact, let me show you what I'm talking about. Check this out.
Different conversation. Now, I don't want to say you have to be dick down to become a goddess, but I'm saying it plays a significant role too. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to dick her down. I'm just saying 18 years of that dick appropriation. And it'd be a matter of time before you come into your being. Every man can't do it.
So this was part of his stick. You know, showering women with gifts, promoting the image of power, uh, uh, being able to sex a woman a certain way, to psychologically condition them to see things through his vision and his way. And the manipulation was there. So Polite, yeah, Ben, he may be a pedo, but the thing is, what I gotta say to a lot of young women out there, right? You saw the signs because you saw that Polite was a contradiction to his own message. He was an enemy to his message. But you look beyond that because you looked at the cars, you looked at the clothes, the way the girls were dressing. You listened to what this man was saying, and you wanted to be a part of that, despite him pouring champagne on women's buttholes and doing all kinds of wild stuff. You subjected yourself and your daughter to this. And you entrusted a man that was an enemy to the message that he was putting out to the masses of people. So as the mom, you're not fully innocent in this. You're not fully innocent in this. Because you have so many charlatans in communities all over the world, black ministers and men and women of power that abuse their power by peeping the weaknesses in the masses of the people. So he peeped the weakness, and he knew that if I can cater to your lower desires, I can control your mind and your imagination. And now you can live vicariously through me. So he came in broke and dusty and busted and disgusted and musty, and worked the minds of the community to the point where they gave him money and put him in a position where he can now become who he always was. And his women went from the nappy afros to the scantily clad clothes. And all of that was set up to draw other women in, because women are attracted to men that can secure other beautiful women. You ever notice you might try to talk to a girl and she turn you down, but then when she see you with another beautiful woman, now all of a sudden she's interested in you? See, that's all the tricks that they were doing. Promote these women that all the guys want to sleep with and all the women want to look like. And now I can attract other women to come in. So now I can infiltrate and do all the nasty things that I do. That's all he did. He sold you an image that your lower desires desired to be like. And that's why he was able to flourish amongst the people. A wolf in sheep's clothing. So let this be a learning lesson to a lot of you women out there. Where a man is selling an image to you. He'll sell an image to your desires. And do you care more about your well-being or your lower desires? That's the thing we got to ask going forward. Because the community made Polite who he is. The community did. So now he'll be sitting in jail, having to hold his cheeks tight, because the booty warriors is definitely going to be coming after him. And he reaped what he sowed. But leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, subscribe to Street Media TV. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.